there, this is Datila bringing you the TNA Wrestling Post Show. As always, I'm joined alongside Burt Macklin.
How's it going?
It's going good. How's it going for you?
I'm good.
All right, let's kick things off talking about Explosion. As we had another Around the Ring segment with Havoc this time, and she was just talking about her podcast called Bitter Buds. She talked about her 3 kittens and her dog. And, as I've always said, I've always appreciated these Around the Ring segments because we learn more about the wrestlers as individuals. And I think they are great. I hope they keep them going. But what I would like to see is Explosion to go back to a 2-match format. I don't know why they started doing 1 match, but this week we got Leon Slater versus Zachary Wentz. I actually saw this in person, and this was an incredible match. I have pictures and videos from the show. Zachary Wentz is victorious after that UFO cutter to Slater. Now, Leon Slater is definitely a star on the rise. He's got a lot of potential. I could definitely see him becoming X Division champion.
Yeah, there's no reason to rush either. I think he's like barely 20 years old, so he's got time on his hands. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there's no reason, no need to rush him. His time will come. Io, what's up, guys? Hey.
What's up,
all
Io?
Right. So tonight's Impact actually kicked off with First Class. They were on the balcony and they were waiting for Joe Henry's apology. And I had to say, I didn't notice First Class was up there until they pointed it out. First Class is on the balcony. And I looked up and they were. But what were your thoughts on First Class being in the balcony?
Well, first, I like Bun B being there. UGK, RIP Pimp C. And then I think I really like the whole presentation of First Class. I think Rich Swann is more interesting than he's ever been. And like I keep saying, I just think that what TNA has done with AJ Francis is pretty remarkable, just given where he was in WWE until now. So yeah, I really like this segment.
But and we've talked about this, it's just a testament to TNA. They could turn people's careers around. Look what they did with Steve Macklin. When he left the WWE. Look what they did with W. Morrissey. All these people, there's just some examples.
Exactly. It goes all the way back to like Gail Kim, who WWE didn't see the value in. And then, yeah, you name him. Did you say Drew Galloway?
Drew Galloway as well, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And then, exactly. Just time and time again, we've seen TNA do this.
Io says they let them be themselves. Exactly.
Well said.
Yeah. So our opening contest is Mustafa Ali versus Chris Bay. This was a really great match. I think my favorite spot in this whole match was the elbow drop coast to coast. That was crazy.
This was awesome. And we'll talk about later. It was almost we got to see 2 matches involving the Rascals, and both of them were great. But this opening match, I mean, not the Rascals, I mean ABC, but this match was awesome. So many highlights of the match, especially when Mustafa Ali took out Ace Austin just for Chris Bay to take him out with a dive on the outside. Really fun match.
This was great. I really enjoyed seeing this match live in person. And I have videos, pictures of all of tonight's matches. So this was great. But Mustafa Ali was victorious here, despite Chris Bay's best efforts. But, I wonder who's going to take the X Division title off of him.
Personally, well, I don't want to go into. I think I kind of want to see, now that he's back, I would like to see Mike Santana win the X Division title and then cash in Option C and win the world title. That's just me personally.
That'd be great. That would be great. But I kind of feel like they're going to put Mike Santana in the main title picture instead of the X Division.
Yeah, I just think that right now it's a little crowded in this, just because you got Josh there, you got Hammerstone, you got Kazarian, you got Nemeth. So I don't know. I would just think that'd be not too soon, but that's a way for him to get there without having him be in a world title shot right away.
That's true. So next we get Danny Luna versus Alicia Edwards, with Masha Samovich at ringside. I thought this was a short, fun little match. I think that I'm hoping, Masha Samovich and Lish win the gold at Under Siege. I want Lish to bring gold to the system and have the system wear all the gold.
Yeah, I definitely hope. I hope that they win this tomorrow, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't. But yeah, I'm definitely rooting for them to win.
I mean, I guess you said criticism. Oh, you're gonna hot potato the tag titles, but in this scenario, it fits because the system needs to hold all the gold, and Lish doesn't have gold. And if she's not gonna go after Jordan Grace's world title, the
Yeah,
next best thing is the knockout tag titles.
yeah.
We get a promo or vignette for Sami Callihan's DMTV, Death Machine TV. I thought this was interesting, piqued my interest because, like, I really like when Impact or TNA does these little shows. I mean, Alan Angel's Soundcheck, even Madison Rain's Locker Room Talk, or Tenille Dashwood's All About Me, where you get to ask questions about her to her. So I really like when they do these things. I know some people don't like them, but honestly, I feel like I like them.
It definitely plays to the wrestler's strengths as well.
It does. Io says sky's the limit for Dani Luna. She's good. Oh, she's definitely good. And the sky is the limit from her. I hate to say this, but separating her from Andrews and Webster was a good thing for her.
Yeah.
Not I do like subculture. I like Mark Andrews and Webster, but it was Sami and DMTV should be interesting. Yeah, I agree. I cannot wait to see. Like, I wonder. It seems like he's just gonna be doing whatever he wants on this DMTV. So I'm very curious to see what kind of segments they do with this.
Yeah.
Okay, we get a Dino promo. And he has a match with Hammerstone, but basically he says that Santino Marella, allowed him to choose a stipulation. Hammerstone kind of made a joke out of it and suggested an arm wrestling match, but the people wanted a no DQ Sin City street fight. And I still think that this People's Choice gimmick is going to lead to Dino turning heel again, because the people keep getting him in situations where, like, a 2-on-1 handicap match, he tried to take out the grizzled young vets, that backfired, and now they got him in this Sin City street fight.
Yeah, that's interesting you say that. I never thought of it. Yeah, I could see that. I think this match should have just been shorter than it was, just because if you're trying to make Hammerstone like this monster, he should have. I don't know. I thought this match went on a little too long.
I thought the finish was interesting because, obviously Hammerstone won this match, and Hammerstone, future world champion in my opinion. And I still think, and don't get me wrong, I like Josh Alexander, but I still think Hammerstone should have defeated Josh Alexander.
As do I.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that. So why I think that why I think the finish was interesting was because, at the end, Hammerstone's still doing the torture act with Diener, and Jake something comes out, and a brawl breaks out between him and Hammerstone. Now, we all know that Jake something and Cody Diener were a tag team prior to him joining Violent by Design. So maybe we'll see a reuniting of Cody Diener and Jake something.
I would like that, but then at the same time, I would rather what you said, Cody Diener turn heel again in that scenario.
Yeah, I feel like that's why I feel like the whole People's Choice gimmick is going to end up turning him heel, because I am just not clicking with Diener being a baby face here.
Yeah, me either.
All right, so next we get a Matt Hardy and Speedball Mountain segment, and I thought this segment was hilarious because they're telling Santino Marella that Nick Nemeth's neck is injured, and he's not understanding that. He's not understanding that Nick Nemeth's neck is injured. He's like, the neck. He's like, yeah, that's his name. And then we find out that Matt Hardy is replacing Nick Nemeth. It's just going to be Matt Hardy and Speedball Mountain versus the System. And I really like the fact that Matt Hardy cost Trent the 7, and Speedball the ball of speed, which I thought was so hilarious. I think they're going to make a unique pairing.
Yeah, this was a fun segment.
Aya calls him Team Broke Ball Mountain. Oh, I didn't think of that. That's an interesting name. So we also get a Jonathan Gresham Vienna, and I thought this was really interesting because we found out that his return match is against Kushida. That should be a banger of a match.
What? Yeah, I didn't even see that. Wow, that should be really good.
Oh, definitely. And then one interesting thing was that when he shook us Santino Marella's hand, it was covered in like squid ink, and then an octopus man sat across from Jonathan Gresham. So I'm very curious to see how this gimmick is gonna play out. Are we gonna get new theme music, new attire? Like what? I'm very much looking forward to his match with Kushida. It's gonna be a banger regardless.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this, and if it's like if it's almost like Jonathan going back to his when he was like the Ring of Honor champion, I'm all for that because he was on a roll back there and considered one of the best wrestlers in the world. So yeah, I'm very interested in this.
You and me both. So next, we finally get Joe Henry's long-awaited apology to First Class. I have to say, this was hilarious. This was extremely funny. He said, "Can you please get fired?" Because it's happened twice before. And just to see this live was a lot of fun. I came out. If you go back and you watch when they show the crowd waving, I'm right there, like waving in the crowd with my phone in my hand. And I actually have this on video, but I got it from the back because where I was on the entrance ramp on the hard cam side, but my Joe Henry's back was to me, so I got the whole thing on tape, but from the back. So I have Joe Henry singing, but you can't see his microphone.
That's so cool, though. At least
it was. This is a really funny segment. I was so excited for everybody to watch this because I was like, "Oh yeah, it was going to be an apology, all right, apology with quotes."
Yeah, this segment was very hilarious, and then just him. It was like an acoustic performance of all his hits, and then he had a new song. This was really fun.
It was. I really hope after this feud with AJ Francis and Rich Swann, I hope Joe Henry moves on to like the world title picture or at least maybe X Division picture because I feel like he's just kind of there. You know, he needs to move on to something else.
Exactly.
I love that he sang the Creed background music. That's true, he did. I'm not the biggest fan of Creed, but you know, it was so good. Protect Joe Henry at all costs. I agree. Oh, and like, who downloaded his "I Believe in Joe Henry" song? I did. I downloaded it on my Spotify, and so happy for Joe Henry. Do you guys believe in Joe Henry? Let us know in the live chat or in the comment section down below. So next we get a System interview, and they're basically just talking about Under Siege. Eddie Edwards mentioning that Under Siege will be the day that Lish brings gold to the System. And let me see, Io says, "I did, it's still trending." That's awesome. And Eddie Edwards brings up a good point. Who's on the poster for Under Siege? Who's on the Under Siege poster?
The System. Yeah.
Exactly. And Eddie Edwards brings that point up that they're on the poster for Under Siege.
They run TNA.
Exactly. And Moose mentions that it's ironic that Hardy goes around deleting people because him and Seaball Mountain are going to get deleted. And then Lish says, always trust the system. And I still trust the system. What about you?
Yeah, I know. And again, I hope that she does win gold this tomorrow, just for that image of them all being champions.
Basically, tomorrow's your show. Yeah, I cannot wait for the fallout from Under Siege and have all of them walk out with all of their gold. So we get Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel. I don't know about you, but I personally will never get tired of seeing an Ace Austin versus Trey Miguel match. They're incredible. They have really great chemistry. This match was amazing.
Yeah, I thought this was the best match on the show. And then that finish with the stomp and into the fold was really was incredible.
I agree. It was. This was awesome. Like, I would not mind seeing a best out of 3 out of 4 between them. I mean, this match was incredible. But did Trey Miguel get injured or something? Because I don't know if you heard, he yelled, "I just blew my knee out" to a fan or something.
I really hope he didn't. I did not hear that. I really hope he's not hurt.
Yeah, I hope he's not hurt either. But even commentary said he kind of tweaked his knee. So very curious to see, like, what if he's injured or not. I hope he's not.
Yeah. That would be horrible news.
It would be. We get a quick Josh Alexander and Eric Young promo. They're just basically talking about Frankie Kazarian and Steve Macklin. In the spirit of Lucha, where is Lucha anyways? You shout out to Lucha. You know how he was always plugging Team Canada? Well, like Josh Alexander and Eric Young tag team before, and I'm surprised they stopped tag teaming. I thought that was going to be a thing going forward. So no surprise to see them tag team for this match. What about you?
Yeah, it's not surprising too, just because I don't think there was going to be that many title matches, for this card. So they kind of have to just a quick turnaround, kind of make matches up on the fly. So I don't expect this to be a permanent team.
Yeah, I know. I don't expect it to be a permanent team, but I kind of thought it was when they were teaming last year. But then they just went their separate ways. So the main event was a Knockouts War title match: Jordynne Grace versus Miyu Yamashita. Forgive me if I mispronounced that. This is a great match. I mean, she really took it to Jordynne Grace here.
Yeah, this to me, you could argue this was the best match on the show. I think it was I think the match previous was slightly better, but no, this was an amazing match as well. I think Jordan's like on the run. Like, again, it's only been 100 days, but I just think it's hard to name women's wrestlers who are better than her right now.
I can name one, but she's not in TNA anymore. Deonna Purrazzo.
Yeah, but Jordan did beat her on the way. Okay.
But Deonna beat Jordan how many times prior to that?
That's fine.
IO says Team Canada 3.0. It's the juggernaut level right now. But in TNA, Jordynne Grace is on a whole nother level. So at the end, Ash by Elegance, who was watching this match, she blew a kiss. So she's clearly making her intentions known. She wants that Knockouts title. And then SDL and Khan attacked Jordynne Grace. I honestly feel like had Matt Cardona not gotten injured, it would have been Sami Callihan and Jordynne Grace versus SDL and Matt Cardona.
Yeah, I could see that. But I think that they probably had a plan. I think once they put Khan in there, PCO was the person they were going to put in there as well. I don't want to say that this ruined the match, but because it didn't. But I get why they did this, just because there's a show tomorrow, and this was a good way to end the show and make you want to watch the match tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. And like I said, I don't think this was the original plan.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate Matt Cardona got injured, but overall, what do you think of tonight's show? This is the go home show to Under Siege.
I thought this was a good show.
I really enjoyed this show. This was a great go home show. TNA, I always feel like they do a good job with their go home shows. They get me excited for the Plus special or for the pay per view.
Same.
All right, now let's make some predictions for Under Siege. You got the card?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, let's go.
Yeah. We have the FBI versus, and they haven't announced the team yet. So I would, since it's a surprise, I want to think that the surprise team's going to win.
Oh, this is a tough one. I think that the surprise team could be a local jobber, so I'm leaning towards FBI.
I don't think TNA would do that. I think it's going to be a surprise, so I think it could be somebody big.
That's true. You're right, because it's kind of odd that they didn't announce an opponent for them.
Yeah.
So okay, you convinced me. I'm gonna go with the surprise team.
Then we have obviously Jordan Grace and PCO versus SDL and Con. I do think I don't think Jordan is losing, so I'm gonna say Jordan and Con are winning. I mean Jordan and PCO are winning.
I feel like because this is a tag match, Jordan Grace could afford to lose this match. Io says Henry stuff was my favorite. Yeah, it definitely was. I feel like Jordan Grace can afford to lose this, but I don't know. I mean, depending on how long SDL is here, that's more matches announced, by the way, guys. Really? Can you drop them in the chat, Io? It's hard to say where they're going to go after this. I feel like there's probably another match down the road with SDL and Jordan Grace. I don't think this feud is going to end with a tag match. So I'm going to go ahead and pick SDL and Con.
Okay. Then we have Spitfire versus Alicia and Masha for the Knockouts Tag Team titles. I do think Alicia and Masha are going to win.
Lish and... I'm going with Lish and Masha.
Yeah. And then we have Hammerstone versus Jake something.
This is a tough one. Why they gotta do this to me? This is gonna be a meat match. Number one, I feel like... Okay, I like Jake something. And I like Hammerstone. I feel like Hammerstone needs this win more than Jake something. I feel like Jake something will be okay. Hammerstone, after taking a loss to Josh Alexander, he needs a win. So I'm going to go with Hammerstone.
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Then we have the X Division Championship match, Mustafa Ali versus Ace Austin. I'm not concerned. I don't think Ali's going to lose. I'm more concerned about I don't want to see ABC break up. I just have a bad feeling. So I'm picking Ali, but I'll be keeping an eye on this match just because I'm more worried about what can happen after.
I don't know how much longer Mustafa Ali. I don't know that his dates for TNA. Is he still working past Under Siege? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Because that'll also determine too. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Ace Austin on this because I don't know if Mustafa Ali is working past Under Siege.
Well, aren't they? They're running a show in Chicago soon, aren't they? I would assume.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I forgot about Against All Odds is in Chicago. Yeah, I'm gonna go pick it. With that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and pick Mustafa Ali as well. I think he retains. Also, too, like, I do worry about ABC as well. I mean, the tension has kind of eased a little bit, but you never know. You never know.
We saw, like, a similar thing in, for people who watch WWE, where it seemed like Kaiser and Vinci had to kind of put it behind them, and then Kaiser turned on him. Yeah. So, I hope it's not a similar situation.
My heart will break if ABC breaks up.
Next, we have trademark pending I'm assuming I was going to trademark it since he came up with it. Broke Ball Mountain versus the System. I do think that obviously I think that this one might be predictable in the sense that if they're going Hardy versus Moose, I would think Hardy would get the pin. I think Broke Ball Mountain's winning regardless. But yeah. So I could see, I see Broke Ball Mountain winning with Hardy getting the pin.
I have to agree with you. I was gonna say the System, but this is Matt Hardy's first match back in TNA. There's no way they're gonna make him lose. And I
Yeah,
do think Matt Hardy is next in line. So,
yeah.
Brokeback Mountain's definitely. I mean, broke. Oh my, Broke Ball Mountain is definitely.
It's catchy. I don't know how,
Yeah.
but then we have Josh Alexander and Eric Young versus Steve Macklin, Kazarian. I think this is another one that is kind of easy, just in the sense that I don't see Kazarian or Macklin losing at this point, because I just don't think Josh and Eric need to win. And then obviously, I don't know, because I didn't you say that you see Eric Young and Kazarian having another match eventually?
I do think they will.
So yeah, I think that just will lead to that, just by Kazarian winning. And then I even can see maybe Hammerstone getting involved and costing him the match, just because Josh did beat him. Josh did win last time, so yeah. But ultimately, I think that Kazarian and Macklin win, because
Oh,
Macklin needs a win. That's what as well.
Ios's Mike Bailey came up with the name on Twitter.
Oh, did
okay.
he?
Oh,
Okay.
I agree. Macklin needs to win. Josh and Eric don't need to win this match. I honestly feel like Macklin and Frankie should win this match. I feel like if they lose, Eric Young's taking the pin in this. I don't see them having them pin Josh.
Yeah.
How EY wrestling after getting his ear stitched up is surprising. Yeah, I agree. All right, what match is next?
That was all the ones that I have.
Okay, so Io dropped in the chat Gresham versus Kushida. I have to go with Gresham. This is his first match back. It's going to be a banger regardless, but I'm picking Gresham for that one.
Yeah, I would open with that match too.
Definitely. Ash versus Havoc on Countdown. Between Ash and Havoc.
Ash isn't losing. She just lost.
You know what? I'm gonna pick Havoc as well here. I don't see how Ash could beat Havoc unless it's cheating somehow.
No, I think Ash is winning, because I just don't think she's losing again. Because didn't she just lose?
Yeah, she lost to Zaya Brookside.
So yeah, I just don't think she's losing back to back.
I'm curious to see how, if she wins. I'm curious to see how she wins this match.
Yeah.
So we get Joe Henry versus Zachary. Really, Joe Henry versus Zachary Wentz? That's an interesting matchup right there. I'm gonna pick Joe Henry. Not that I'm not a fan of the Rascals. I like the Rascals, but I like Joe Henry more. I believe in Joe. I believe in 252 pounds of pure motivation, the answer to all of life's problems. I believe in Joe Henry, so I gotta pick Joe Henry for that one.
I'm going with Wentz just because I'm assuming that Francis or Swan are going to cost Henry the match.
I thought you were gonna say because you're a rascal.
Well, yeah, that too. But no, I don't think that. I don't see Henry winning here, just because I would think that Swan and Francis are going to get revenge somehow. So
for that apology.
Yeah.
And then Laredo versus Rich Swann in a non-title match. I had to I have to pick Laredo Kid. Well, actually,
I'm assuming Swan wins to set up a title match.
Yeah. I just don't want Laredo Kid to lose because he just won that title. I know I think he defended in Mexico, but he has yet to defend in TNA. So I kind of, want him to win, but he might have a short digital media title reign.
Yeah, but I also could see Swan winning just because then that would make him a Triple Crown champ, and then if he's been a tag team champ, he'd be a Grand Slam champ. So I wouldn't mind seeing Swan down the line becoming the Digital Media champion. Also, just because I think that fits First Class's gimmick right now, and I think that title would be perfect for them. I could see them having that title have its own seat in First Class. You know what I mean? Like, they should put the title on Swan. It could be they're going to put it in the videos. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is like a given. There's money to be made here.
Honestly, I'd rather First Class win the tag titles.
Yeah, but I don't want they're heels, and so are the systems, so I don't see that happening anytime soon.
That's true. Depending on how long the pairing goes, once the system drops those tag titles, I could see them taking the tag titles.
Yeah.
Well, that's it for our Under Siege predictions. Let us know your predictions in the live chat or in the comment section down below. But you got anything to say as we get ready to wrap up?
No, just make sure you watch tomorrow. It's back-to-back nights of TNA, so.
Yeah, so thank you guys all so much for watching, and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever we go live or whenever Body Slam goes live. And we'll see you guys here tomorrow for Under Siege. Bye.